what's interesting to me about getting another quarterback is like we just can't we can't scoop all of them up in the transfer portal, guys. There's a point too. Like, look, Graham Mertz was from the portal. Jack Miller was from the portal. We're not happy with either of them. So we think going back to the portal is going to fix the problem. Like, there's not just unicorns just floating around out there, guys. I can promise you that. We do have some names. It's an article from Nick Del Toro on On3 of that are being targeted, or not necessarily targeted, but possible opportunities that are in the portal right now. Austin Simmons was brought up again as reclassifying, but even if he does, right, I think we can learn from Arch Manning, who was a number one quarterback, didn't look that great in the spring game. If Austin was to reclassify, this kid's 2 years out from that, so he's even younger than Arch Manning. Is he going to come out and be game ready? No, but I think that where people are kind of accepting and wanting that is if Austin Simmons were to reclassify, right, you would be more inclined, you'd be more okay with a down year, getting to see Austin Simmons get more playing time. I think that's kind of where Florida fans are in that, like, hey, I'm okay with it. I could be wrong here, but that's my assumption. Dave, what are your thoughts, Dave? Is it because, again, I don't think Austin Simmons is going to be the hero, Lord and Savior either, not year one.
No, but I've gone through this 1,000 times. I think it would be beneficial for him to enroll early just because you don't have to worry about recruiting him till 2025. But, I mean, you talk about 16, 17 years old enrolling at Florida. Whether he does or not, I mean, as long as you can keep him in that 2025 class, I'm okay with it. It's more just for like a security thing. Like if you already have him enrolled, he's on campus and he's going to practice football.
Sure.
I mean, you don't have to worry about him in the 2025 class. You can go after others, and they've already targeted other top 2025 quarterbacks, which makes me believe he could possibly be doing that. But then you hear him transferring different high schools with his dad. I guess his dad's an offensive coordinator or a coach somewhere at some high school. So you're like, well, if he's transferring high schools, is he really, going to, reclassify to 2023? That's been brought up a little bit, but I don't know, man. I'm still hearing that it's supposed to be happening, but it may not. I don't know.
I think what also, too, the issue with the transfer portal is before, I mean, if, a couple years ago, we would watch that spring game. It's like, man, these guys better get to work. They better go out there, start practicing. That's what we're going to get. And because, it's not exactly what we were hoping for, we're out there, looking around, snooping around, hoping for something. Look, we had Anthony Richardson last year. We thought we were set. And going halfway through, we don't know how the season went out. We weren't 100% set. So we can't get too caught up in it. But let me get to the names before you guys have a conniption in the chat. Ben Bryant from Arizona is one. He's 23 years old. So he's going to be our new Stetson Bennett. I like this one simply due to the fact that he's old and about to collect Social Security. So if there's any correlation between older quarterbacks and winning natties, let's just get him on the depth chart. You know what I mean? Just for some good luck. The other names being tossed around. What's that?
Don't forget Chris Winkie. He was the first one to do it. He went and played.
That's right.
Played minor league baseball for a couple years. Didn't like it. Came back and enrolled as a freshman at like 23 or 24 years old. It worked
Beautiful.
out.
I think he only has like 1 year left though, so he wouldn't be that old. But then Chance Nolan from Oregon State, Ben Finley from NC State, and Hayden Wolf from Old Dominion. Again, who? Right? I mean, no one even knows those names. So everyone's like, who are we gonna go get? Those options aren't that great. Apparently, Ben Bryant is probably the top possible prospect. He left Cincinnati, then returned as a graduate student back to Arizona. So that seems to be the highest priority for quarterbacks. But again, I think right now, honestly, Mertz is probably going to be the safest pick. I think everybody was looking at Grayson McCall. So we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, if you go look at Ben Bryant's statistics real quick, I mean, the guy's got a 64.9% average completion rating, which is pretty good. He's thrown for 6,420 yards in his career. He's got 37 touchdowns to 17 interceptions. Not a bad touchdown-interception ratio, I guess, for the past, looks like he's played in 5 years, but he hasn't used his eligibility. I think he's got like 2 years of eligibility. I think he's been in and out, like playing backup roles and such. But I mean, you go to his kind of like his PFF grades, they're not bad. They're in the green. They're like 80, 84. So I wouldn't suppose that would be a bad pick out of the portal, but I from what I've heard, I don't even know if I haven't even heard of any targets that they're targeting right now in the portal, but that is an option though. I mean, if you want an experienced quarterback that can come in and drive the quarterback competition, that would probably be my top pick right now, just based on who's in there now. But shoot, I mean, we've got what, another 3-4 days before it closes back up. Other ones could come into the portal too. And of course, we all know about the Notre Dame quarterback, but he's visiting Alabama. He's probably going to go to Alabama. So um, it just depends on who enters the portal from here to now. And even if the portal period closes up, because I got a lot of questions from this, if it closes up, if those kids are still in the portal, you can still acquire them through the portal as long as they enter before it closes. If it's a graduate transfer, they can enter at any time. You can get them at any time. So if it's Grayson McCall and you're worried about him graduating or whatever like that, he can still enter the portal. But I don't even know what the story is on that one anymore, though.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to preface that as well. Even though the portal closes the 30th, I believe, once they're in the portal, they don't have to sign with the school. I mean, technically, they don't have to sign at all. They could wait, right, until enrolling. So, I mean, they could sit out an entire year. Because I think there's guys that from the last portal time when they entered still haven't signed anywhere. So, and that, again, that goes to show you of if all these kids are sitting around hanging out, how great is that talent out there? I did read that it looks like what Billy and staff are going to do is wait for the mayhem to close, see what's going to basically allow everyone to enter into the portal, wait till it closes, then assess the situation. Obviously, we see like Coach Prime and other schools locking up guys now. I think other schools have more of a, like USC locked in a few. The guys that have a slim pickings, they're probably, they're very direct on what they need. Dion and Coach Prime, they have a lot more spots to be filled, so they're obviously a little more aggressive with that. I think Florida is in an area where like they're probably happy, but they're not going to go overshoot their shot after somebody. It's like, look, we're good. There's nobody out there that we're in dire need to get, and that's going to make an instant impact. So let's just let everything close down, let it settle, and then let's go pick apart from there.